Well, right out of high school, I went to Kennesaw State University. I followed a boy. He was really cute. He played baseball. And it was still close to home. And I felt like, well, I think I can do this. It's in-state tuition and I'll follow the boy and be close to home. So I did all of those things. And one day he was playing baseball. He's a very good baseball player. And the scouts came and they were scouting these guys on this team. And I remember looking around thinking, who's scouting me? I'm not singing. I'm not a baseball player. I need to be singing, right? At that game in particular, I just made the decision, I'm going to call my parents. I've got to go to Nashville. I was watching him follow his dream and I wasn't, and it was bothering me. It wasn't good enough. And so I convinced my parents to give me 1 year at Belmont University if I could get into the school. My dad had a little retirement money set aside, and he told me all I can help with is 1 year. Well, I knew my grades were not good enough to get into Belmont, and I knew that I was going to need some help. So I had a teacher that was so good to me in high school. He was the theater teacher, and he wrote an amazing letter for me to Belmont, which definitely helped. Admissions told me that. They were like, that's one of the best letters we've ever seen. And my grades, I tried my best, but they weren't quite there. But Belmont let me in, and I took that as a sign. The other thing that had to happen was my dad and mom had to sell a car to get me here, and so they did that. We go to Belmont. It's move-in day, and we're putting everything in the dorm. I meet my roommate, Ricky, who I'm still really close with. It's so great. We start to walk across the campus to orientation, and all of a sudden I start to feel the feeling of, I want to go home. I'm not supposed to be here. I want to go home. This was a mistake. I can't do this. And we got to the doors of the auditorium, and I looked at my parents and I said, I don't belong here. I don't belong here. We need to go home. I need to go home. And my mama looked at me and she said, young lady, we have worked really hard to get you into this school, and you do belong here, and you're going to go in there and sit down and listen to what the president has to say, and then we're driving back to Georgia. And I said, yes, ma'am. So we went into the auditorium. The students sat on the left, the parents sat on the right, and I will never forget this. And you know, my whole life, God has just given me signs and foreshadowed things and made things very clear when I've been in the midst of turmoil, like, show me, what am I supposed to do? And I sat down, and the president was introduced, and the first thing he said at the microphone was, you belong here. That's how he started his speech. And I looked over at my mama, and she went. So I stayed, and I'm so glad I stayed in Nashville.